Okay.
Pramod sir, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, so
Yes, sir. We are live, sir, on YouTube.
you could have asked me anyway. Venkat sir, I'm not. I told you, to wait. Okay. Venkat sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you just switch on your camera for a while? Yeah.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you?
Yeah.
Good
Good
morning.
evening. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. I was expecting Abhishek Agrawal. Can you please coordinate with Mr. Abhishek Alekia? Okay. So good evening,
GVRK
everyone.
sir, your head is cutting off. Tilt your camera a bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
now you're good.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good.
Good morning, Vijay Madam and Venkat sir, to this particular meeting. And we're going to start shortly. So, participants, hopefully you have joined the YouTube links. So, since the meeting is quite bigger, so we are going this way, and it is going to be live streamed on the YouTube, and we are in a different platform. So, you can post your questions in the chat box, and we'll be trying to respond from this side if you have any questions. So, welcome all of you to this particular event, and on behalf of School of Management Studies, University of Hyderabad, and Merit One Incorporation USA, we welcome all of you to this particular event on sustainable supply chain management. So it's my pleasure to introduce briefly with all of you the Dean of the School, GVR Kacharilu, and Mr. Venkat Valavaram from Merit One Incorporation, and Bijay Madam is one of the speakers for the day. And before we could start with the event, I would like to talk about the dean, and he will be formally, inaugurating the event. So it's my pleasure to introduce with all of you Professor GVR Kacharilu. He's a professor in the operations and supply chain management area in the School of Management Studies, University of Hyderabad. He has done his bachelor's in chemical engineering from Andhra University and master's from REC Warangal. Currently, it is the NIT Warangal. He holds his MBA from Osmani University and PhD in the SM area from the same university. He has about 30 years of experience in teaching and research, and more than 10 years of industry experience to his credit. He has written several papers, more than 50 papers in various journals of repute, and about 10 scholars have graduated with their doctorates under his guidance. So, with this brief note, I would like to thank Professor GVR Kacharilu to this meeting, and one announcement here. Due to some urgent requirement, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor B.J. Rao, is not here today, and he has given his word that on 31st, on the valedictory, he will be joining us. Okay. So, with this note, I request Professor GVR to say a few words about the event, and then we'll go ahead with the sessions. Over to you, sir. Professor
Yeah.
GVR Kacharilu, the Dean of the School of Management Studies.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pramod. Very good evening to all of you. Warm welcome to this MDP program on sustainable supply chain management. Very meticulously designed by Dr. Pramod Kumar Mishra from University of Hyderabad in association with Merit One, Mr. Venkat Ji from USA, and other speakers, experts from industry. And the program is, I think, on sustainable supply chain management, which is a buzzword today and also tomorrow, the emerging area that every industry has to focus on sustainability. That too, the sustainable supply chain is, as you know, that it is going to integrate all economic environment, social environment, and also how the environmental friendly your supply chain should be, from raw materials, suppliers to production to wholesaler to final customer. And in the present business context, actually, many companies, many businesses are required to adopt the sustainable practices as as there is a growing demand and also the regulatory pressures of the companies. You have definitely it is a right time, high time to have a sustainable supply chain practices awareness to enhance the long-term profitability of the organizations. So now that most of the companies are focusing on how to reduce carbon reduction, carbon footprint, and carbon accounting, and triple bottom line. These are the different concepts that are coming up. So and also you have to see that how socially and environmentally responsible by the organizations, looking at the fair wages, safety of the worker, safety of the uh, employees, and all those things. But if you look at in future, these in view of the technology, advancement in technologies, digital technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and IoT and other things. So there is a greater transparency in the efficiency while tracking the sustainability efforts. So that's why we should be very careful about how these terms are very important in the circular economy. So then the economy is going to be circular economy, and all these models are very relevant to the organizations. If they want to survive in the competitive environment, they have to look at the entire supply chain. How do they focus on recycling, reusing, and reducing the waste management, and also how they are going to impact the environment. So how to reduce the environmental impact? This is very important, and because of this climate changes are happening, so the social issues are coming more, and the organizations should be very careful to survive in the present scenario and also future point of view. They should the supply chain should be sustainable, and they have to follow such best practices of supply chain. Otherwise, they are going to be out of the business. That's why. So the in view of most of the participants from industry and academics, so they should have how do they create impact in the business environment in promoting the sustainability concept. In this context, actually, the sessions are planned very meticulously by Pramod Kumar Mishra at various industries, and in terms of healthcare industry, agriculture, and also we have uh, so global supply chain point of view, and how these technologies are really enabling the sustainability of supply chains. So this is the need of the hour for anybody, and without having this sustainable practices and awareness, knowledge, it is very difficult to survive in the environment. So as from academic environment, we are promoting this sustainable supply chain management to various segments of the society and see that how do we create impact in maintaining these sustainable standards. So I wish you all this 4 5 days are going to be a real feast for you in the evening, and I hope all the resource persons are going to be uh, chosen from academics and industry, and this is going to be very useful for all the participants definitely. And I really thank all the experts who have agreed to take up the sessions. And also thanks to Venkatji for really making us so active in coming up with this management development program to create awareness and also to sensitize the industrial professionals to go with how they are going to be looking at environmental this thing, sustainable practice in supply chain. So with this, I wish you all the best and thank you one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. About the participants, so we received about, I just forgot to mention, about 580 registrations we received from all across the country, and almost states, and representing many institutions of repute. And hopefully this event is going to help some of the in their areas of research. We also I would like to mention here that we have about 75%, or you can say from the teaching and the research side, and about 25% from the industry. So that is what is the brief about the 580 participants of this particular event. So thank you very much, sir, for nice words. Actually, we also missed Vice Chancellor sir in this meeting, but he has given his word, and the 31st will be joining for the valedictory. So thank you very much, sir, and please be here for a while. And before we start the event, maybe then you can take a call to leave. Our scholar Alekhya to introduce Vijay Madam, the speaker of 7 o'clock to 8:30 session. Over to Alekhya. Please switch on your camera. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Vijay Nadella ma'am, an expert in IT and IT solutions with a wealth of knowledge and expertise. Ms. Vijay ma'am is a solution-oriented and result-driven IT manager with 15 plus years of experience in various technologies, a dynamic leader with significant experience in building and motivating high-performing cross-functional teams to deliver complex technological solutions, excellence in coordinating various teams to achieve common corporate goals, adept at enterprise business and solution architecture, delivery and all project initiatives, process improvements, technology, re-engineering, organizational strategy, and change management. I welcome you, ma'am, to the session, and I hand over the session for you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Vijay ma'am, for and participants. Vijay madam will be basically talking on supply chain management technologies, and especially she will be focusing on the ERP solutions and the artificial intelligence. So with this note, thank you very much, Alekhya. Thank you, Vijay ma'am, for joining us. It's up to you now to present your presentation. Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alekhya, for the nice intro of me. And GBRK, sir, you have very well articulated the challenges and the importance of supply chain trends and whatever the issues that we have to. And education is continuous. And I really appreciate Pramod, sir, in promoting this MDP program on a yearly basis. And I was there for the last year, and I'm here for this year. And the trends are changing so much, and we have to be abreast of all those trends. And I see so many research students and industry experts join this webinar. That makes me more interesting to carry forward this session with you all. And to add to what Alekhya had introduced me, like I'm currently into research-based education with European University Institute. That's I'm more focused on public affairs and public policy at the moment. So that covers the entire thing about the supply chain as well, the sustainability, supply chain development, because the economy as a broader umbrella, it has taken into its wings every other thing that comes under the sustainability and economy. So in that way, my focus is both on the IT side. Is there any disturbance? Did anybody call my name? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Sir. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you can proceed. If you have any presentation, you can
yeah.
probably share. Yeah.
So let me share the presentation.
Share your screen. You can present. There is a present button in the StreamYard with plus sign. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Please use it and present.
So
Sir, thank you very much. If you would like to stay for some time, you can stay here. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Please
So
proceed.
are you able to see the presentation?
Yeah, we are able to see it, madam. You can proceed.
Okay. So welcome to the 5-day international webinar series of the MDP program by University of Hyderabad. Today is the first day, and the session is about supply chain management technologies and trends. I am planning to cover from the basics to the advanced topics so that everybody understands. My goal is to cover every level of the education, like seniors to the juniors to the seniors. That's how I progressively written all my slides. And the topics here, I'm going to cover, as I said, from junior level to the senior level, fundamentals of supply chain management, global supply chain management market, like what is the market share of the global supply chain, objectives supply chain management, key metrics, what are the key metrics that are driving the supply chain networks in the current world, supply chain management problems, the latest problems of 2024, the future of supply chain technology, like where we are heading with our technology, what drives the technology selection, like how the corporations select which technology is suitable for them, and traditional supply chain versus the digital supply chain, like why the people or companies are moving from traditional supply chain to the digital supply chain and digital transformation as such. And number 9, what are the main benefits of digitizing the supply chain? So I'm going to give the technology roadmap, where we are and where we have to go in the future. And then top trends in supply chain technology for 2024. What are the new supply chain technologies that are emerging from now to the future? Technologies for supply chain management. Under technologies for supply chain management, I'm going to cover the broad spectrum of every technology that can address the supply chain solutions. So the 12th, that's why I kept it at the last, because it will be more interesting to see the broad spectrum of technologies there. And at the end, we do have a social responsibility, and we'll see how the supply chain can add social value and how it is going to fulfill their social responsibility. And then we see the resources for continuing the education, what are the available resources and where we can get the most and updated information on the supply chain. So I have many topics, many slides. I will skirt through each one of them and stop me whenever you can have a question. Otherwise, I'll keep going. And Pramod sir, you can add value.
Questions will be will be taking at the last, because participants
Okay.
have joined the YouTube link and we are in StreamYard. So questions will be taking at the end. I'll moderate it. Don't worry for that. So just one information: your network is a little fluctuating. Maybe you can switch off your camera for a while when it happens, right? Then you can
Okay.
proceed with the presentation. Yeah, thank you.
So can I switch off the camera now? Is it fluctuating?
For some time it is fluctuating actually. Your voice was breaking. So now and then you can probably switch off your camera and go ahead with the presentation. Yeah,
Okay.
I hope it's clear.
Uh,
Yeah.
so Pramod sir, you can certainly jump in and add wherever you feel like adding some more value and some more information to these
Yeah.
slides.
Yeah,
So
definitely, definitely. Please go ahead, madam. Yeah.
fundamentals of supply chain, I just want
Even
us to
Dr.
start
Asal
with.
is also here. Asal sir is also here. He can also contribute wherever
Sure,
needed. Yeah, we
definitely.
can continue. We can continue, madam.
Yeah. So, in a basic terms, what we call supply chain management is sourcing the raw materials and processing to the manufacturing and delivering it to the customers. For those who do not know who the supply chain is, this is the basics of it, and this is where you start, and this is where we continue till the advancements of the supply chain. I just want to put it into the layman terms what it is. And supply chain management flow, this is the entire flow that happens from sourcing to the procurement or sourcing is one and the same, and the suppliers and manufacturing to the warehouse and the logistics, all of the logistics involved in delivering those manufactured products. So these are all the stakeholders. There will be many relationships and networks, and there will be many stakeholders in this entire flow of the supply chain. We can there are multiple channels, and the multiple channels interact with each other, but I wanted to simplify it and see how best we can present to the novice students. So I researched through the trends of the global supply chain management. It is taking a 23 billion of the market share and the market size. And you can see the manufacturing sector, which is purple, and the food and beverages section, that is blue. Those are going to take most of the supply chain management solutions, and they're taking the major part in the entire spectrum of the market. And that is very interesting. We see like how much is supply chain is into the society. And to narrate the objectives of the supply chain management, why we have to do it, why we have to manage it, It's very quintessential. Optimizing the operational efficiency and operating cost, minimizing the operating cost, I would see that as the primary on top of the objectives. And when we look into the other objectives, like we do not want a rigid systems, we need more flexibility, more transparency to improve the customer satisfaction. So for that, we have to do the sustainability and risk management in order to comply with the society and the regulations. And we also, when it comes to the transportation and logistics, we have to reduce the lead times. So that's where the supply chain management objectives lie. And there is a supply chain philosophy too. And when we dig deeper into the philosophy, it's much more than these objectives are listed here. But you must explore the philosophy of supply chain in not as a science, but as a philosophy. I would like to explore that. So the key metrics of supply network, like why we need the supply chain and what are we going to achieve with it. So anything that is not measured is not valuable. So we should be able to measure our management efforts, supply chain management efforts. So what are the key metrics that drive the supply chain network? That's the next thing. So when it comes to delivery, it's one on-time delivery is the most important and most satisfying thing for the customer. So that goes on top of everything. That's where the success of the business is. And inventory turnover, fill rate, and customer order cycle time, cash to cash cycle times, and perfect order rate, inventory accuracy. So day sales outstanding and forecasting accuracy, damage free delivery, all these things stand as metrics. I only listed few. There will be multitude of those metrics and not everything is relevant for everybody, but what is relevant for the business is most important. And in their mission of the supply chain improvement, they must identify the key metrics, how they are going to measure their success. So I just listed a few important ones, but it typically based on the business. So supply chain management problems. So what are we trying to solve in the modern world of supply chain? So I had this research, and then I found that ID Agent had done a reasonable research to identify the problems of the current world. So they calculated cybersecurity is increased by 80%, and that is in 2020, but we are in 2024. So cybersecurity is threatening the supply chain network. That's the most pressing problem of the world right now. And 41% of the US companies suffer from data breach. So data, whatever the data, it is going into the net and the cloud. It is all over. Everybody has access to that. That is a 40. And so it's business data and their valuable supply chain data, and there is a data breach, and that's the most pressing problem too. And there is another company, Statista 2020, their global survey. It revealed that primary driver for changes in the supply chain sector is the cost factor. Everybody wants to minimize the manufacturing cost or raw material cost or labor cost, whatever the cost. So that is driving supply chain implementations and adaptations across the globe. And the third one and the fourth one is 46% of the professionals note labor availability is not so motivating factor. Of course, in a country like United States of America, labor is very rare, and that's where the automations and robotization is coming into picture. So they identified labor availability is one of the pressing issues of the current world in supply chain markets. And McKinsey, that's another company in that they do a lot of research and predictions and forecasts. So early adoption of AI and supply chain solution, it promises 13 trillion in GDP by 2030. That's interesting. That tells us like where everybody is heading to. 13 trillion GDP in 2030. So everybody is driving towards the AI adoption, and we have to be abreast of the AI adoption as well. So in this presentation, I will be focusing more on AI adoption as well. Another company, that's Deloitte, they found that 66% of the respondents were sure they had real visibility. So 6% is a very least number. So most of these supply chain networks, they lack transparency. So creating transparency through AI adoption is one of the main goals of the current technology trends. So these are the problems that I listed with whatever research I could do, but there will be more and very specific issues related to the business and their practice, like service industry would have a different problem than the healthcare industry. And so I don't want to dig deeper into each one of these, but I want to focus on what kind of algorithms or what kind of algorithms are in use to solve these issues. So far, we looked into the issues, but how are we going to solve them, and what are the solutions for those? So basically, I focused on what kind of algorithms are used in solving these issues. So the first one is optimization algorithms, resource allocation, optimizing anything and everything. And it is a mathematical and a statistical approach that they take, the linear programming, for example, solves the transportation problem. So these are all like machine learning algorithms and AI algorithms. AI is after implementing all of these algorithms and also traditional supply chain solutions, whatever we have in the current world, behind the scenes, every solution that is working around, and these are the mathematical algorithms that we have behind the scenes working for us. So inventory and demand forecasting algorithms like ARIMA, like these are all mathematical. One must, if you are trying to solution the algorithms, you must explore each one of these algorithms and dig deeper into how we can build these algorithms into the supply chain solutions. Currently, every even the startups, they are addressing big supply chain solutions using the AI and everything, and they're recent startups. They are not big companies like Oracle or anybody else. So how they are doing it? They are tapping all these algorithms into the AI and putting simple solutions into for small business, medium, high scale anyway, or much high scaler. But startups, I have seen the trend. So if you have a plan to do a startup with the supply chain solutions, you would master all these algorithms. You would at least know what to do and when to do. And some of these are interesting algorithms that I found. Some of them are nature inspired, like ant. I have a case study for that also. Ant colony algorithms, like how ants build their colonies for the food and how they optimize the supply chain within their colonies, is one of the interesting topics. And one of the client had adopted that ant colony algorithms to optimize their resource allocation. So we'll have that into our case study. The future of the supply chain technology, like when we look into what is the future of these technologies, like you can see 2026, the 75% of the large enterprises will adopt intralogistics smart robots in their warehouse operations. So robotics is doing things, whereas AI is thinking of doing things. So AI thinks and robotics do the things. That's the main difference between the robotics and AI, artificial intelligence. So this trend shows like 75% of the enterprises, large enterprises, they're trying to adapt the robotics into that thing. And it's not very far, 2026. And 75% of the commercial supply chain management vendors will provide artificial intelligence and data science. So, and 25% of the supply chain execution vendors will rewrite their core software, whatever they are using right now, they will be rewriting. 25% of them will be rewriting. And 25% of supply chain decisions will be made on intelligent edge ecosystems. So this is the where we are heading to in terms of the technology. So the next question is like, what drives the technology selection? How do I know what kind of technology? I'm a startup, or I'm a mid-size, or I'm a large-scale entrepreneur. Like, how do I define and what kind of technology? There are numerous technologies available, from low cost to the high cost. So it depends on the business needs and goals. First and foremost, what is your, and how much time you can put on implementing the supply chain solutions, and what level of automation you need. Because if you have more people, you don't need more automation, but if you are not finding resources in the market, you definitely need some level of automation. So scalability, how you want to scale your future needs of the supply chain, and how much vendor support you have on the existing systems. If you have good vendor system and running low on cost, you would not want to move further into the technologies. And what is the real time visibility, transparency that you have with your existing systems. And these are the primary drivers of the technology. Either you want to enhance your existing systems, or whether you want to implement the new systems. These are the primary driving factors. And traditional supply chain versus a digital supply chain, like how we are moving and why we are moving from the traditional supply chain. You can see it is the diagrams of the digital network is more transparent than the traditional networks, more agile and more proactive. And so throughout this session, you will be listening to me saying that real-time data and transparency and visibility, that's where we are heading. These technologies are heading to. So enhanced customer experience, definitely, like you are not in a step-by-step process. If you are very interconnected with all the things in a circular manner, with n number of networks between each one of the components and the stakeholders. So that's where we are. We still have a lot of traditional supply chain going on in the market, but in the future, it will be all the digital supply chain, like the trends that we have seen just now. So why do we have to digitize, and what are the benefits that we are getting? Greater customer experience, a lower cost of operations, and increase the speed to market. So you can see that how each one of them are measured, and so low level to the highest level. The lowest level, it stands at less requirements for buying trips. I don't want to travel like 10 times to buy one raw material. We want to decrease.
Madam, I suggest you to switch off your camera for a while. Your voice is breaking.
Okay. So digitizing the supply chain and the roadmap, where the technology roadmap is, uh, everybody is in the visibility phase right now. Everybody see the need for it, and that's at the bottom of the uh, roadmap. And the next one is once they see the visibility, they will have a predictive, like anticipate future events or outcomes. So some people are at this level and some people are at this level, and so we'll see like what is the percentage, who recognized who identified the need, and who is in the predictive stage, and who is able to recommend the actions to optimize the processes, and who is really at the adaptation stage. So here the level one, only 35% of the companies are there, like they see the visibility of the digital transformation. And 52% is already reached the level two. So based on this trend, one should know where they are and where they should get to. 52% qualified for level 2 readiness. That means a predictive and also a prescriptive way of doing things. So they can predict and prescribe and recommend optimizations in the supply chain. And level 3 is only 13% qualifying for access based on their capabilities of dynamic end-to-end supply chain. So it's the mostly AI, and only 13% of the customers or enterprises are at the level 3 right now. So you should know like where you are in this readiness map, roadmap. So these are the top trends in supply chain technologies, all the navy blue are human and machine based, whereas the lighter blue ones are controlled in and protected by the human still. So you can see the next generation of humanoid working robots. They will be there, and machine customers and composite AI, all these AI-enabled vision systems, all these will be taking place, and but still, what components will be under our control is the governance of the entire supply chain network. Governance and regulations will still be under the human control. That's where the trends are right now. So technologies, the available technologies and top 10 ERP technologies, and these are traditional technologies which are on the way to adapt latest AI and machine learning techniques into their traditional way of supply chain management. So you can see myself, I'm a expert in Oracle applications. So Oracle is one of the ERP that we use for supply chain management, and there are SAP and Sage. Sage is like a mid-scale, and whereas Oracle and SAP are the larger scale. NetSuite and Microsoft Dynamics is very flexible for both large scale and mid-scale. Info Cloud Suites and IFS Cloud and Epicor. So you can pick any one of these technologies and master yourself to get into those. So each one of these slides, whatever that I'm presenting, opens the doors for several other things that where you can master these things on a 1,000 hours base. Once you master for 1,000 hours, you are a master. That's what they say, golden rule. Knowing everything is different, and mastering one thing is really different. So I'm a master of Oracle applications here. So enterprise resource planning, what is ERP? Like ERP stands every resource that is needed for an enterprise is available within the ERP systems. When we say every resource, every stakeholder that business deals with, every transaction that business deals with is available within the ERP systems, starting from human resources to the supply chain management, to the finances, to the sales, marketing, and even to the customer experience like CRM. Whatever you take, marketing, sales, CRM, everything comes under ERP, and one can master any one of those ERP integrations. So mastering everything is not possible, but pick your line of business and pick your line of interest, and there we can try to master that. So ERP currently is both on-premise and cloud ERP. So the share is 50-50%. On-premise ERP, you have a full control of your ERP systems, your servers and everything. Still 50% of the enterprises are on-premise, but most of the people are moving to the cloud. So I did a research and I found that on-premise and cloud are equally running in the current trend. So cloud ERP is where you have a hosted environment like Amazon Cloud or Oracle Cloud. They provide every infrastructure. You don't have to have any infrastructure. They will give you all the infrastructure, and you pay the premium for that, and you'll host your ERP systems on the cloud. So those are the two types of ERP systems. I'll dig deeper into how the ERP integrates and what are the modules available. I had put together most important modules like supply chain management, marketing, manufacturing, and Internet of Things, project management, asset management, financials. So these look like a disparate systems separate on this flowchart, but they are tightly integrated with each other. Like when we have the supply chain management and when we go into the cycles of procure to pay or order to cash, to fulfill those cycles, it is tightly integrated with the manufacturing, and everything goes to the finance at the end of the day. So these modules are tightly integrated based on its requirements. That is a deeper integration of the ERP, and it's robust. Like you can see the robust engine of the ERP here. So supply chain management, the purpose of it is optimize the entire supply chain process. There is nothing more to that, and I use Oracle supply chain in my day-to-day life. And as I said, supply chain integrates with the other modules in the ERP system. That's inventory, manufacturing, and finance. So when we look into the order cycle, it's a small component of the entire supply chain module. Like order life cycle. It starts with a customer placing an order, and that goes to the scheduling, how and when we can deliver that order, and what is the availability. The scheduling looks into the availability of the finished product, and then when we can ship, and what is the availability of transportation systems. And auto invoicing, then we invoice the customer, invoice pays, uh, and invoicing, recognizing the revenue based on when we invoiced it and when we received it. There is a lag between the sending the invoice and receiving the money on the invoice. In between, the revenue recognition happens, and there are several rule engines that run in recognizing the revenue, and it's very important for the accounting standards. And receipts, like yeah, as I said, invoicing and receipts, there is a cycle between those two. Once we receive, it goes to the cash management, and where we reconcile what we invoiced is what we received and what we are sending it to the bank. That's what the cash management deals with. And then everything is recorded into the general ledger for accounting purposes, to the shareholders, internal auditors, and the external shareholders. So this is a small component in the entire supply chain management, but there will be many more cycles within the inventory management, warehouse management, and transportation management, everything. I just try to put a simple understanding of how the small component works within a larger ERP systems. So when we look into the larger integration part of it, like we have the supplier management, demand management, order management, inventory management, transportation management, warehouse management, and logistics. So all together, put together, is the supply chain management, and how each one of them integrate with each other, and what are the flows between all these, and what are the robust engines that run behind. And as I spoke, the algorithms that they run to optimize the supply chain schedules. So this is a overall view of how the supply chain management works within a ERP system. We are still on the ERP. So new AI innovations in the traditional supply chain management, that's the ERP systems that we are trending to. So they have identified several things where, for example, the Oracle or SAP, they have traditional supply chain ERPs, but the world is trending towards the AI. So these companies, these ERP systems, they must incorporate some level of AI into their traditional ERP systems. So they are slowly identifying. It is still at the 10%, how and where they can introduce the AI. So some of these I identified, like where they can put the AI systems into place, and they already did. At least the Oracle Cloud SCM, they already integrated these AI components into their ERP. So one of them is predict ship lead times and WMS cycle times, and new product introduction, and demand sensing, product anomaly detection, lead time insights, and dynamic discounting in the finance sector. So they are still researching what are the ways to put in the AI innovations into the ERP. These are some of the trends. So the Lean Six Sigma, this is so we are done with one technology. Like I have put together at least 10 technologies that are playing part in the supply chain management. The number 2 is Lean Six Sigma in supply chain management. So what is Six Sigma? Like everybody uses Six Sigma and everybody talks about Six Sigma. It is a methodology that aims to eliminate waste and reduce variability in business processes. So it's a typical eliminating whatever the waste things are, redundancy or duplicate things, improving the performance of it, and preventing any defects and any mistakes and errors. So that's where the Lean Six Sigma standards come into place. Like they have a methodology in the Lean Six Sigma. They call it a DMAIC, like define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. These are the 5 measures, and that's their framework. Each one of these like have their own framework that they work within those standards. So Lean Six Sigma, every supply chain management system follows in order to avoid the redundancy and waste. And this the framework. And AI is already, whoever is doing the Lean Six Sigma systems, they already introduced the AI and how it fits and how it improves the traditional Six Sigma methodology. And I can clearly show that here. From one step to the another step, AI can analyze the real-time processes. So that's where the whole difference comes with AI. So number 3 technology is advanced analytics and business intelligence tools. So whatever we have in the ERP systems is meaningless unless we present that in a
Vijay ma'am, sorry to interrupt. There is a question from Dr. Shoaib. Hope you are able to see it.
Sorry, I'm only looking at my presentation because
Okay, okay. Uh-huh. So I just read it out, madam. Is there any cost-effective and easily adapted and customized, technology, for the business? He's asking just to know if there is any, cost-effective and easily adapted and customized solution.
so
Hopefully, he's from healthcare. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So healthcare, it is really based on the size of the business and what is available in the market. As I said, the startup companies, they are doing a lot more supply chain technologies. So if you're a small size company, you would not go to Oracle or SAP. You would go to simply Microsoft Dynamics. Those are easy to implement. Or you would like to explore more into the latest trends. What I was very intrigued how these startups are doing these supply chain solutions within a jiffy, like 2-3 days you will have a solution in place for your problem. So it really depends, like what is your need, what is your scalability, and how soon you want to implement that drive. I really navigated to the drivers of the supply chain implementation. So in a broader term, I cannot tell which one is suitable, but there is everything for everyone. Healthcare is some other ERP. SAP is morely centric of manufacturing and supply chain, whereas Oracle is more centric of financials. That's what they call. But even SAP has financials, and Oracle has supply chain, everything. But who is the lead in the market is the question. And what is your size of the business is also a matter to drive these. So does that answer?
Yeah, okay, madam. Fine. Please go
Oh.
ahead.
So advanced analytics and business intelligence tools, like we have several tools, Power BI, Tableau, these are all quick and easy to implement. As I said, ERP, whatever the information that we have in ERP is not worthy if we cannot present that in a management information system. So everything, nobody wants to look into the big designs of the ERP and algorithms and all. Everybody wants a piece of paper which gives them a meaningful information for their KPIs, key performance indicators. What are my sales and what are my log times and what is my cost of raw material? Those things. So here there is a difference between the analytics and business intelligence. So business intelligence is more of a OLTP, like online transactional processing. Analytics is more of a historical data for more in-depth analysis of historical data and prediction for the future. So whereas BI is transactional data, like what are my monthly balances or what are my daily balances, what are my daily costs and all. Analytics are used for more of the prediction and forecasting for coming 5 years or coming 10 years. So these tools are part of the supply chain technologies. So here, the bottom, we have the ERP. The data source is ERP systems or traditional databases, whatever the database that you have, even the QuickBooks, for that sake. So from that data sources, the integration happens and the data is extracted using the ETL tools. And data is stored, and it's a big data or data lake or operational data store, whatever the scalability that you have, whatever the data warehouse that you choose, data marts, data cubes, data lakes, you call it whatever it is, but that's the data. And there is big data too. And you have again on-premise and hosted environments for these data section too. So you choose like how much space you need, because computer space computing, cloud computing is more expensive right now. So you have to try to accommodate it in less expensive and optimize your databases there. And from these data marts or data cubes and data lakes, we use tools like OLAP tools and OLTP tools to present the data for the management here. That's how the entire architecture, like how these integrate with each other. And everywhere there is a component that adds to it. This is a broader overview. So the number 4 is artificial intelligence and machine learning, how they are getting place into the supply chain technologies. So what is artificial intelligence? That's a big question. Like AI can be defined as the ability of a machine to perform cognitive functions associated with human minds. So whatever the human mind can do, if the artificial intelligence can do, that's where we are heading to. The purpose of it is enhancing the decision making and quickly, more agile and more quick. That's where the purpose of this artificial intelligence. You can dig deeper into it, and there are more companies coming with the AI solutions. As I told before, ERP technologies are adapting at certain level, and there are IBM Boston Supply Chain and Google Cloud AI and SAP AI, all these things that they are adapting more and more of AI into their supply chain solutions. So we have AI, and what are the types of AI and which type, why they are meaningful to our network. So we have I'm trying to make sense to you, to make you understand all types of AIs and which one is the most suitable for you guys. So traditional AI, it's simple recommendation like Netflix suggesting this movie or Amazon suggesting this product, and Siri or Alexa processing commands playing music. That's traditional weak AI or narrow AI. That's the basics of the AI that we are using on a daily basis in our daily household thing. And when we go a little bit upper in the AI networks, supervised learning, where the data is extracted, labeled into data sets, and perfectly labeled without and perfectly paired with each other. Okay, and what is the main label and what is the sub label? And the supervised learning will have a clear understanding of what data it is, and then only they can operate accurately, like self-driving cars. Unless they don't have the supervised learning of the data, they cannot really drive the cars by themselves, right? So that's all supervised learning. And how the supervised learning occurs is another thing to explore. How the data is labeled, how the supervised learning happens, that is all about the AI. So in medical diagnosis also, like they do supervised learning, otherwise there will be many medical and healthcare issues. So that's where the supervised learning comes into place. That is all data science. An unsupervised learning, like where the data is unlabeled and clumsy and no idea what is in the data lake or data hub or data cube, we do not know how to use it. Such grouping of data is called, if anything we are extracting out of that data lake, that's unsupervised learning. So those data like market segmentation, for example, grouping of customers by purchasing habits to create personalized marketing strategies. We do not know what their strategies are. We really cannot tell by looking into their social media analysis or anything. So it will be very clumsy and not labeled, and it is very hard to make the data useful. But still, there are unsupervised learning techniques and tools where they can put that data into the use. So that is one kind of AI that we have. And number 4 is the reinforcement learning, where the systems learn by its mistakes, like the humans learn with our own mistakes. The systems are designed to learn from their own mistakes. Okay, this is the output, do it again. So they put into the loop so that the right outcome comes. And so that is how the systems are designed, for so that they can do I'm sorry, excuse me for my voice. So robotics and gaming, they all run on based on the reinforcement learning. So again, there is a generative AI, number 5. So traditional AI we have seen, that's a weak AI using in Netflix and Amazon, and generative AI is a chat GPT, mid journey, and deepfake and music generation that we are experiencing in the current world. We are already into the generative AI phase. And these generative AI phase, like it reads text and images and turns into the whatever the output that we need. So we can generate anything out of the generative AI, like everybody has seen the chat GPT. That's the fifth AI type. And the next, these two that you see on the screen are future of the AI, like artificial general intelligence. What is artificial general intelligence? Is it is exactly like the human, like whatever we can do, if that intelligence can do that, it is artificial general intelligence. So we should not be confused with AI, generative AI, and artificial general intelligence. There is a clear distinction between all these three, and I'm trying to show that what that clear distinction is. Yeah, AGI is currently, all the companies are working towards the AGI. So, where the machine is capable of learning new skills or solving problems entirely on different domains, like human reasoning, they will have, if it is on par with the human, it's AGI. And by 2030, people say that, and the predictions are by 2030 will be fully operative with the artificial general intelligence. We are in 2025 right now, so another 5 years. So recently, I heard Sam Altman saying about ASI is coming to play, and that's the maybe that is where the end of the AI story is. Like ASI is super intelligence, and I already heard in December that it is coming. It is going to happen. Super intelligence is where the intelligence surpasses the human intelligence. So the systems will be much more in every way, will be superior to us. So recently, like the last human exam, so the most intelligent people in the world, they formed like some 100 questions or 50 questions of that is the last human exam, they call it. You can search last human exam, and they are trying that ASI and AGI can solve those things, and it is pretty much solving those problems. So I believe ASI is going to be here soon. So all these types, from traditional to ASI, I am trying to explain how the trend is going on with AI. And now let's see how this AI works for us, right? How AI is built. AI is nothing but data and text and images. So based on text and images, it labels the data, right? So we'll see like how that visualization happens. So it is called the computer vision. Like the human have the vision, computers have the vision as well. Like how the human brain processes. This is a bowl of fruit bowl. Even computer has a vision, and there are vision sensing devices that recognize the image and process the image and put the output into. This is a bowl of fruits. That's how the computer vision systems are. This is in a very basic level of understanding that I'm trying to give, like how computer vision can be compared to the human vision. But computer vision itself is a broad spectrum. How we can teach systems to learn from the images is what the computer vision is. And this is all part of the AI. So when we look at the framework of AI, you can see the computer vision is here, and it grabs everything from the sensory machines. And in the big in the hierarchy, or this is a allure diagram, like where everything is integrated within themselves. The deep learning is one set of it, and natural language processing is used for taking the language commands and understanding the human language and processing it. Whereas the computer vision is sensing the images and everything, like this is cat, this is dog, this is and so CV and NLP are the main inputs into the AI system, and deep learning is the process of extracting data out of these CV and NLP things. So NLP is a subset of deep learning, and LLMs, large language models, are built to teach the systems about the language. So you can see deep learning and large language models and NLP are deeply, tightly integrated with each other. And machine learning takes everything from the deep learning. Deep learning is nothing but collecting the data and labeling the data, and machine learning is translating the data into the intelligence. So in an overall network, we'll hear all these buzzwords: computer vision, AI, NLP, DL, ML. And this is where it all comes from. This is where you see how tightly they are integrated with each other. So you can master any one of these or all of these. So most of the data scientists, they learn into the deep learning and the machine learning, and some of the language experts, they go into the LLMs, developing the LLMs. So it's the same that I try to put it into place, like which one is first and which one is the next and which one is the how to whatever that I explained in the words right now, I put it in the words here for later use. So now I'm into supply chain case studies. Like, how much time I have, sir? Pramod, sir? Another.
Madam, on an average, 30 more minutes for you.
Okay, so I'll
20,
phrase it that way.
20,
Yeah,
25 minutes, and we'll take some questions.
sure,
So
sir.
please try to end up in 25 minutes, madam.
Sure, sir. Yeah, I'll phrase it that way.
Yeah,
So
thank
AI
you.
supply chain and these case studies are very important. Where Dell recently introspect of their supply chain systems and found that their systems and their issues about it. So they realized that there is a Frankenstein effect. Frankenstein effect is like their systems are original systems. There are original systems, and everybody had came in and put in something, added something to their original systems. So the originality had gone, and different replicas of their system was emerged. That was causing the issues. That's what they understood, that there was a Frankenstein effect in their system, and there is a lot of technocentrism. Like uh, everything is very technical. Nothing is easy for them. So technocentric sometimes makes it much harder than easier. That's what they understood, and some of those things are unscalable for them too. So that's what they try to understand their supply chain issues, and they adapted an approach where by identifying the key performance indicators where they want to make a difference. So with that they had this digital transformation approach that they had taken. They want to make right commitments, ensure parts supply, and keep the customers informed. Like, this is your delivery is on time, your delivery will be made on certain day. So, or maybe it is delayed. Those kind of information that they want to be keep informed, and manage supplier ecosystems, whatever the ecosystems that are integrated within the whole supply chain system, they want to take care of those. So this is how the experiences and the digital transformation, it's an introspection for them to drive the operational efficiency. So they did this roadmap exercise for digital transformation, and they kind of added their value chain, end-to-end solution value chain. Like they identified which things to be improved, and they identified their KPIs and how to quantify those KPIs, and they created value for those KPIs, and tried to tap the KPIs and monetizing their KPIs. So this is the introspection that they did, and it felt very interesting to me. Like, such companies like Dell, they do very root level introspection to dig deeper into their issues and put the transformation into the future. This is one of the interesting case study you can look into, like how Dell is digitizing their supply chain. Another I have is a Samsonite. This is also a very interesting case. Like they inspired by nature, they adapted a ant colony algorithm to achieve a optimization in resource allocation. Like they figured out their deliveries are everywhere, and they are getting delayed and getting complaints, and it's not optimal route that they have. So they identified the issues, and they used the methodology, as I said, and colony optimization, and they reduced it from 8 trucks to the 4 trucks, and there is a cost reduction of 38%. And how they implemented the methodology, it all depends on like which software they are using and which algorithms they are using. But that's how this is how a company like Samsonite or Dell work from the roots. So we don't see the high level transformations at all. So they identify like, okay, 13 customers and 8 trucks are going there, I want to minimize that, and and let's do the ant colony optimization. So those are the two case studies that are very interesting to me. I hope it is interesting for you too as well. And then I'm into my fifth technology, that is a blockchain technology. And these technologies, whatever the technology that I'm referring here, is directly connected to the supply chain technology. So these are all a part of the supply chain technologies. So blockchain, like they work in blocks, and there is data in each block, and they are connected. You can see how data is connected. So it is a very decentralized compared to. I have that screenshot later on. Like compared to the traditional database, database is very centric and controlled by one person, where these data blocks, they are controlled by multiple persons, very decentralized and very connected together and highly secured. So data security is the foremost thing in the blockchain. So again, there is a transparency and traceability. So because of the connectedness, there is always a traceability, because every block leaves the footprint of the first block. That's where the blockchain technology is good for. So how blockchain works, just an example. A transaction is requested, and a block that presents the transaction is created with the whatever the transaction. A transaction is created with a smart contract, right? And I'll tell what the smart contracts are. A block is created, and the block is, because there are many blocks, that information is sent to all others. Let's say people, each block is one person. Let's say the block is sent to every node in the network. Everybody validates it, like, oh, what is this new transaction is for, how good it is, or should we do it or should we not do it. Everybody validate that, and everybody agrees, and that's where they get the money. So each block owner, they gets the money in for approving that whatever the new change is coming in. So whatever the new transaction becomes the block, and then the transaction is complete. So in a simple terms, this is how the block is created. And high level blockchain architecture, like vendor 1, vendor 2, we have a smart contract. Smart contracts are stored blockchain on the blockchain. Each smart contract, it's a part of it. A computer program that automatically executes an agreement when certain conditions are met. Okay. So in the supply chain, whatever the condition that is programmed into the smart contract, when that certain condition is fulfilled, the contract is executed. So the contract may come from anybody, and it goes to the block. Block can be a private block or a most of them are private blocks. I don't know if there are public blocks. But it goes to the block, and then it goes to the governance chain. So again, the governance chain is mostly human operated. Like the earlier slides we have seen, the governance, we are still keeping it in the humans rather than in the robots or AI. So this is the basic difference between the blockchain and the traditional database. The traditional database is very centralized and decentralized, and this is more secure than the traditional database. So the use cases of blockchain in supply chain management, like where it can be implemented. So as I said, the smart contracts is one of the one, but everything is a smart contract because it is programmed it that way to take the smart contract into the block. So reduced paperwork and data integrity, data availability and assurance, customer experience, product recalls. So and product control. I try to put it a high level design, what drives the supply blockchain into the supply chain management. And so we need to look into companies who try to adapt the blockchain into their supply chain. I have not done that exercise, but you can do that if you're really interested into the blockchain. So cloud as a service, like cloud is a hosted environment. As I said in a ERP session or ERP slide, cloud is a hosted environment. Either we can purchase some space on the cloud, like it can be hardware, it can be software, or it can be platform, or it can be an infrastructure. Based on our based on our business requirements, we can hire the space in the cloud, and we can put our supply chain technologies into the cloud, and we'll have access as and when we need without maintaining our own servers. So mostly, as I said, most of the companies are moving to the cloud because it's easier. They don't need manpower to manage the systems. And Internet of Things. So what are Internet of Things? Anything that has a chip is Internet of Things. So starting with your microwave to mobile phone to the fridge to the garage door to whatever the gadgets that on a household basis that I'm telling, we'll see later the supply chain basis. Anything that has a chip is Internet of Things, and anything, they're all interconnected and operates in a certain way. So you can see this is a basic household supply Internet of Things. So IoT in supply chain, they enable real-time tracking and monitoring of assets and inventory. So if a truck driver carrying a barcode reader, or maybe uh, to acknowledge the receipt of the goods or to record the transaction, that's the Internet of Thing. Whatever the barcode reader is an Internet of Thing, and that automatically acknowledges this shipment is received, right? So there are many such Internet of Things within the supply chain market. So it has sensors and it detects things and it supplies the data to the mainstream database, like whether it is a ERP system or whether it is a cloud system or whatever the system. These gadgets are directly connected and data is sent to the mainstream. So these are all I would tell them as small gadgets with the chip on it and with the data in it. So you can explore more of these Internet of Things in supply chain technologies. There are many that are into action right now. So the eighth one is robotic process automation. So as I said, robotic is a doer, the AI is a thinker, right? Like there is a clear distinction between, if you want to automate anything, you would use the RPA automation process. Like supply chain in the supply chain marketing, if you want to deliver newsletters or if you want to deliver the goods for one time subscription, but you'll be receiving regularly on a monthly basis or something, those kind of jobs you can automate using a robotic process, RPA it's called. So anything that is repetitive, it can be automated. And the examples are UiPath, automation anywhere. That is the most used software that I have seen for RPA processes than UiPath or Blue Prism. Automation anywhere is really fantastic for automating many things, even for the small scale industries. So this is another slide with all the RPA tools that are available. So small scale supply chain enterprises, they can really look into these RPA tools. Those are easy to install and automate things without much manpower. Forget about all the ERP systems or anything. You can still automate some of these things. As I said, RPA is a doer and AI is a learning things and thinking machine. So they work together for delivering some of the smart decisions for the supply chain. So RPA, some of the tasks that can be automated or in the supply chain is email automation, planning supply and demand, supplier selection and procurement. So if we feed the system that these are the metrics, read these metrics and select the supplier among hundreds of suppliers, right? That how it selects the supplier. And RFP process also, like if you are putting RFPs, it can really automate your RFPs, RFQs also, like request for quotations, request for for the procurement side. They select the supplier, they do the RFQ, and they do the order processing as well. That's how these automated systems can work for the supply chain. And documents, like if you have to document anything, this is my RFQ, this is my purchase order, this is my customer order. So every document is prepared and stored in using these systems. So this is an interesting fact that I have here. Pega Systems interviewed 500 decision makers in global companies, asking them whether RPA is a crucial for the digital transformation of the future. And yes, 63% of the respondents said it's a major component of their company's future. So we cannot take that easier, that 63% think that RPA is important for their future. So we can master any of the RPA software. So this is another slide that I tried to put like how the automation takes place within the RPA system, email automation and planning and supply chain demand, whatever that I have spoken earlier is the same slide. So this is a EDI, electronic data interchange, and I have seen many clients using this for easy order processing. Many bigger clients, they still use some portion of the EDI for its ease, like it's a predefined codes that they have. Okay, I send like code 1, 2, 3. That's it, good enough for them to execute a complete order. So it don't have to be very exhaustive. It's like a military course that they use. Okay, this code AS110 is something meaningful to them to execute the order. So entire electronic data interchange happens it that way, and I worked on it too. So that's why I know how these things work. In a simpler way, you can get the data exchanged between the two systems, either purchase order or sales order or even invoice. Everything can be done using the electronic data interchange. And we need to find what kind of enterprises are offering those EDIs. Like MuleSoft is one of those. MuleSoft is very famous for EDI and application programming interface. Even Oracle has robust engines of interfacing, like how to communicate. Oracle itself is a very robust engine, right? Like how an external system can communicate with the Oracle is important. And let's say, like I want to import the customer data from some other legacy system, right? And Oracle provides a API so that I can import the master data from some other legacy system that they are retiring. Otherwise, the interaction between the two systems becomes impossible. So most of these systems, they create APIs to interact with each other. So these are important to know, like whether it is a small or big, every technology, they use these data exchange programs between the systems. And I tried to explain what the differences between the ADI and API. API is more robust than the EDI. That's why API takes a longer time and skill to develop also and integrate. And the last but not the least, we have autonomous vehicles and drones in the supply chain market, right? Amazon is planning to deliver the goods using the drones. That's where the autonomous vehicles also come and deliver goods at the doorstep. So these autonomous vehicles and drones, they use too many technologies to run themselves, and that's how they are part of the supply chain. So learning the drone technologies and learning the autonomous vehicle technologies is important if you want to be in the trend of the supply chain. So in the next slide, I kind of put together the technology, what kind of technologies are used in these autonomous vehicles, right? It's very interesting. But each one of these is its own domain, and you have to dig deeper into these things. I only had put together for the information purpose. So many technologies, including the blockchain and including AI and 5G technology, edge technology, Internet of Things, everything together will drive the autonomous vehicle without the driver. And there is too many algorithms as well that one has to learn and implement. Oh, there is one more. Sorry, I thought the autonomous vehicles was the last one, but I do have a digital twin. That's the buzzword that we are hearing about, the digital twin. What is a digital twin, right? Is a live mode. You will put your entire supply chain model into a live model. You create a live model and you experiment with that, not in the real time, in a simulation model. Even the healthcare industry, it is still going on. They create a live model of the human, and they put everything on the human first before they try anything on the human, like cancer medication or depression medication or even surgeries or anything. They'll experiment in a simulative model. The same is into supply chain technology. I was surprised. This is very new to me, the digital twin, but it's mostly emerging right now. They'll simulate entire supply chain and they'll try to experiment and read the results, and then only they'll try to implement. If it is a resource allocation or route optimization, they'll try that in the digital twin first, and then they try to put it into the action. So in the digital twin, there is a technique called ESOAR, like they estimate, they standardize, optimize, automate, and robotize. That's where they use the digital twin for. And you can dig more deeper into the framework of the digital twin and how it works and where it is in the current world and when it will be fully emerging into the supply chain technologies. But it is fascinating to see all the things that are happening in the supply chain arena. So supply chain digital twin capabilities, right? Creating awareness of supply chain development, like when you have to develop or when you have to revise your supply chain networks or implement new supply chain technologies, identifying the bottlenecks and testing the whatever the improvements that you are making, are they working or not, and assessing whatever the risks that it is going to face within the network thing, and what logistics we need. Everything, they use the digital twin for those capabilities. And mostly the digital twins, what kind of technologies drive the digital twins, right? They use it is interesting to know the age-old CAD technology, like we design buildings and bridges and all. They use that to create the digital twin. And not only that, they use the Internet of Things and AI. So all these three or multiple things which I do not know may be, form the digital twin, and the simulations are worked within the digital twin. That is one of the emerging technologies in the supply chain. So we are almost coming to the end of the session. Like I want to show, like supply chain is a lot of emissions. The trucks, whatever they do, transportation, logistics. Not only that, in every segment and every stakeholder is a reason for the emission, right? And how socially responsible we are, and what is the social value of this entire supply chain network. That is the top level of importance right now than what all we spoke so far and so forth. So when it comes to the emissions, right, uh, the scope one is a direct emission and the scope two is indirect emission. The direct emission is when it is a manufacturing that you are producing a lot of harmful things into the environment. And the indirect things is every stakeholder, if a customer is purchasing something, he's an indirect emission reason for the emission. So that's how the emissions are created, and that's how every person in the supply chain network, every stakeholder is responsible for the emissions. So we know, like what these emissions are and where they are coming from. So they are categorized direct or indirect, whatever it is. This slide explains all the categories that can cause emissions, right? I don't want to go detail into each one of these categories, but we know that there are emissions, right? So we know that there are emissions, and we know that the companies have to be responsible. But how do we enforce this responsibility on these companies to deliver the social value, right? And there is a framework for that, to make these companies really socially friendly to the environment and to the people and the society. So ESG is what they call, and we know that Sustainable Development Goals is the United Nations term that they use for sustainability, and ESG is environmental and governance and social responsibility. So every company has to have a environmental responsibility, social responsibility, and for that they have a proper governance in place. So waste management, they have to follow the innovation, they have to follow the diversity, and they have to follow the value chain, society, have the risk management in place, and corporate governance that drives everything else, like in the ESG sector.
Madam, sorry to interrupt. You need to expedite a bit.
Okay, so I'm almost there. So the ESG has a reporting framework, and they have certain metrics that they need to be reported. That's how they keep everything intact and socially responsible. ESG reporting is one of the important tool for the supply chain organizations. So dig deeper into those, and country specific regulations are there. Like each country has their own ESG regulations. So I try to explain what those regulations are by country, and you can take a look into that later. And we have AI also coming into place with whatever the technology that we have seen so far. We have the AI taking place and adding value to that. So we have that ESG reporting. It is a very extensive reporting that each company does on the ESG to fulfill their social responsibility. And I'm at the end of the session. So I have the continuous education is very important to learn these technologies as changing very frequently and changing very quickly and very fast. So we have to be on our toes to read these, keep us educated. So these are some of the sources. Like I found these two books very interesting. Like whatever I have explained so far, all the technologies, they are explained in detail if you want to read more. And the websites that I would look into for keeping myself on the go is like you can make note of it at the supply chain digital. Check the top 10 section, it would give you the latest trends and everything. And there is one more, MIT Center for Transportation and Logistics. The research section is really good on what kind of research work is going on in the supply chain industry. That you can check, it is very specific for supply chain and transportation. And World Economic Forum, their website is in general the trends across the globe. So you may come across with many of these supply chain trends because supply chain drives the economy. That's why World Economic Forum has a focus on it. And there is a final one, that is Association of SCM. If you are looking to obtain any certification courses, that's the place to go and get get a certification. And that is all. And thank you very much. And at the end of the session, I have prepared like 12 questions to make you can take note of it and answer these to see how far you understand the session. These are very thought-provoking questions, and when you answer these questions, you really completely understanding the course in detail. So I have around 12 questions. So I'll be sharing that later with the team, and they can pass it on to you. Try to
Yeah,
think of those 12 questions.
you can send it, madam, so that we'll pass it across. And there are two questions. One question I have already responded. How can we apply in the real day-to-day situations? I have
Right.
already posted, my message, and you have something to say.
What is the question, sir? Can come again, please?
How to apply supplies and management practices in real day-to-day situations?
How to apply supply chain
Yeah,
technologies or decisions?
it's open actually. That is why I said, if anything specific. But anyway,
So
according to
it,
your
it
understanding,
starts with
yes.
the food supply chain, right? Like the
No, no,
first.
there is nothing. No sector is mentioned. It is just a kind of open question. You can probably respond.
Okay, so I would answer with the supply chain, food supply chain, right? Like how do we optimize? Like if you want to go to the grocery store, you do not go for one grocery one time, right? You will go and get 10 groceries one time, or for a week one time. That's the supply chain that you already applied there. That's how the bottom of it. You apply wherever you can optimize, and whatever way you optimize, and you adapt a technology for doing that. So the technology for the household supply chain is you prepare a list and you go to the grocery store and you apply there.
Okay. So in continuation, this question, madam, it is the Mr. Venugopal Janaswamy is interested to know more about the service organization, like airlines.
Airlines, so they have to be very very much in, they are very much into renewable energy right now. So they are switching from fuel energy to the renewable energy. That's where they are putting their all efforts and trends into adapting the renewable energy. And I haven't investigated further on those things, but definitely you can look into how airtime is reduced, or airtime costs are reduced by using the renewable energy.
Okay. So, okay, madam, one more question from Mr. Mohan. As a PhD student, how can I validate my supply chain management research work? How I can be more confident about the social implication when industries are not in position to implement recommendations? So if you have any thought on this.
So there will be always a resistance to change, right? But as a PhD student, you should be able to show the philosophy and also the science behind everything that you do. And when you show the heuristic and empirical evidences for your work, definitely they will agree to it, to that. For that you have to do a lot of research, like the resources that I had given, that will give you more and more insights into the things, and then you can add all those insights into your research work and try to build the frameworks around that, and at least try to address them. And as a research student you have to solution them too. Then it is a time to implement. But if you are into development and all, you would look into the algorithms and everything. But definitely I would start with the sources that I provided, try to gain more insights.
So to me, the simple thing is that publishing in very reputed journals could
Yes,
be
yeah, as a
that could be
research person, that's the best that you can do.
so to come to the limelight. So that's the only way that researchers we can do.
It has value,
Uh,
like whenever you do the citation, right? The
yeah, yeah.
citation is the most important thing in your research work.
Madam, due to the paucity of time, we'll take one more question quickly. So, blockchain's role in enhancing supply chain resilience. To
Mhm.
what extent can blockchain technology improve the resilience of a supply chain against the disruptions? Mr. Ranjani has asked that question. If you have anything to say, please highlight.
So definitely, like the resilience within the blockchain, it is still in the adapting mode. Not many people adopted the blockchain yet because of its complexity, and resources are not available. But definitely, it adds resilience based on the blocks, that how they are configured and how they are interacting with each other. The feasibility and flexibility that adds the resilience. Resilience doesn't come as such without a proper allocation of blocks and the data and transparency. And I have not seen many clients adapting to the blockchain, but only certain people who understands it very deeply, the need for it, they are going for it. Not many understand the finance industry is taking it more because of the ledgers that they can interact with, but the supply chain, they are still behind because of the complexity.
Okay. So one more question, madam. So before we end this session, any specific challenges faced by the hospitality sector in the implementation of digital supply chain?
As I said, the digital twin is making into progress, right? Digital twin is one of the things that you want to explore more, and how that is going to change it is completely going to change the healthcare sector. So you would like to explore more into the digital twin technologies.
So with this, I think okay, Mr. Rahman is asking supply chain and refractory material distribution. So can you be a little more specific, Mr. Rahman? Supply chain in refractory material distribution. Quickly.
I do not know what is that.
Okay,
We
okay.
need to we have
So
to look into
yeah,
it.
it's not very specific. So anyway, so thank you very much, madam. So we need to end this particular session now. And participants, if you have any further questions, you can probably mail us. We'll try to answer. Okay. So nothing to worry for that because of the paucity of the time. We need to end this particular session, and we'll definitely get back to your questions. If you have anything specific, please do write it to us. We'll definitely give the response. So thank you very much, madam, and thank you all the participants for joining us and watching the session very carefully. And now we'll take just 2-3 minutes of break, and the second session of the day we're going to start with Mr. Abhishek. He's also there. So let us have a quick break. Let's have a quick break. So thank you very much, madam. If you wish, you can continue the session or you can leave the session. And
Oh,
Abhishek sir, please wait for 2-3 minutes. We are going to start. Thank you. Just 2-3 minutes of break, not more than that. Participants, please stay tuned.
Thank you, Vijay madam, for giving a wonderful initiation.
Thank you,
Okay,
madam.
madam,
Thank you.
madam is
Sir, I think she has left, sir. She has just left.
okay. Good, Pramod. Nice.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you very much. So we'll 2-3 minutes of break, sir. 2-3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Abhishek, sir, can you please switch on your camera? We'll just test in the meantime. By the time participants come back, we'll just have a. Abhishek, sir, you are able to hear us? Alekya, are you available?
Yes, sir, I'm available, sir.
Okay, just a moment. I'm just trying to reach Abhishek, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. You are
Hello,
able
sir.
to?
Yeah, yes, very much, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay.
Welcome to the program.
Yes. Good evening.
Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I am able to hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Please get ready with
Okay.
the presentation. We'll just take 1 minute
The
to start.
presentation is there with. I
Yeah.
have sent you the
Yes.
presentation. No? Yeah.
Alekya, can you please start sharing your screen?
Yes, sir, I'm sharing it, sir.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can share it also. Once I'll just check that.
Yeah,
One
please,
second.
sir. Please, you can also try, sir. Not an issue. So, in the meantime, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Mr. Abhishek Agrawal, the speaker of the second session. I request our scholar, Ms. Alekya, to introduce Abhishek, sir, to the audience. Alekya, can
Sir,
you please
yes,
go
sir.
ahead?
Yes, sir.
So, please switch on your camera for a while and yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. Goodieback, a startup that has recently found its way into sustainability sector. The founder and CEO Abhishek Agrawal sir has decided to foray into the field not many have encouraged to venture into. He was able to identify the market gap between the dry waste that is generated in our homes and the recyclers of such waste. Gaining experience from his father's garment business and then his own acumen in the transportation industry, in February 2022, Abhishek Sir entered the realm of waste management by establishing Ecovani Waste Management Private Limited and introducing the Goodie Bag brand. Recognized for his work on sustainability, Abhishek's leadership has earned him several recognitions, including the prestigious Karamveer Award, Karamveer Chakra Bronze Medal, instituted by the United Nations and ICANGO. I welcome you, sir, for the session, and I hand over the session to you, sir. Sir, can you give me 2 minutes? I'll just share the screen.
Uh, Abhishek sir is going to present on innovative waste management solutions and streamlining the industry. So thank you very much, sir, for kindly accepting our invitation, and we look forward to your presentation and the you know the sharing of the you know practical experience with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pramodji, and thank you, Likya, for giving this the nice introduction. And thank you for calling me here, Pramodji, and giving me an
Thank you, sir.
opportunity to talk about what is happening in the universe and in practicality. Till now, one of my colleague has given a very brief introduction about what is sustainable chain, logistic chain management and how the things are being in the process system. So today, I may say that I'm not that big lecturer or a big, something where I go and teach something. But today I'll be giving the insights, giving the practicality, giving them how the logistic supply chain works in the ecosystem. So, can you just share the screen? I think I'm not able to present the screen here. So, if she can present the
Alekya,
Just
can
give
you
screen.
me
please share the screen?
one
Yeah.
minute, sir. I'm 1 minute, sir. Sorry
Yeah.
for the delay.
Till then, we'll just talk about my bit of journey, what where I have started and how I have started this ecosystem, and why I have seen the gap between the consumer and the
Abhishek sir,
recyclers.
Abhishek
Yeah.
sir, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Your network is lit feeble. So can you be little can you just switch off your camera for a while and
Yeah.
talk? Because sometimes it helps. Yeah.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Now it's better, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So let us discuss how the complete algorithm works in waste management and why did I started my journey and why did I have chosen this business. You might say that the complete process system of waste management. People are talking about how we need to, you know, make this complete industry sustainable, how we can address that because today, wherever you go, wherever you see, each and every person is talking about waste management. And today, as we are sitting here on the same time, a very world's biggest you might say that event is happening in our layman language of Kumbh. How to manage that big process system of waste management because there are crores of people coming at one place, crores of people, taking a dip in holy river. How can we manage that? That is where the supply chain comes. That is where people need to understand, and we need to take that as a pledge that if we have that algorithm to manage the complete process system, then we'll be making that as a complete solution. So that is where I when I started this of the journey in waste management. Before that, what was I doing? So in 2011, when in the same journey of logistic, when I have taken this a part of my journey, what to do and how to do. In 2011, there were a very big gap in logistics also, where the companies who are there in the market and the logistics where technology was a very big problem and technology was not that much adopted by any of the consumers or any of the companies. So when I started my logistic, it was a very large, very big industry where people were not known about how to go into the market, what are the strategies we need to see, where we need to start and how we need to start. So that was also my the first journey of my life where I have started. And from 2011 to 2022, when I've started this my venture of waste management. Before that 12 years I have made a very big journey of my life where I've traveled along in around 3 to 4 lakh kilometers by road and have done many surveys of logistics. So this is what the presentation what I just want to show you today. I'll be giving you the insides of practicality. Today I'll be giving you we as a human are doing what, and that is where we need to address today, and that is where we need to see if what we can do, how we can do, and how we can stop this process of waste management. So that is where I have written a topic of waste. So everyone knows that today we are here to talk about something called waste, and we as a human wherever we go we create waste. So can you just go on to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we know everything about already that we are creating a very big mess when we start our day in the morning. What do we do when we wake up in the morning? Directly we go, we have our brush because that is also made up of plastic. So I'm just giving you a very small insights where might be it is very big it is not very big thing that I'll be explaining you, but it is affecting the humans, it is affecting the nature, it is affecting the all the uh, you know everything which is surrounded by our own self. We have reached moon, but you see that today we are also creating a mess in on the moon when we are going there. So that is where the humans are. We are going with the technology, we are going with today's world is going with AI technology, but where are we standing today? Are we in the good books of not creating the waste what we need not to create? So that is where we know everything already. Next slide please. So I'll just take you to a world tour where you will be seeing where in which country what all has been done and where the world is standing today. Next slide please. This is what, next slide please. These all are single page slides, single word slides where you'll be seeing that everything in the world is been growing, but not we are not able to manage our own waste. Where the waste is being disposed of, where are we disposing our own home waste? I'll talk about the home waste, not I'm talking about any industry waste or something like that. You're seeing this, that where is this all ending? They are ending in landfills, they are ending in oceans, they are ending in lakes, they are ending in rivers. So this is what, this is all your home material which are ending. It is not anything called industrial waste right now. Everything what you see in the ocean is all about plastic, all about your daily use items which are you and me are using on this at home. Next slide please. Amsterdam. Next slide. Lagos. You see this, how the people are, taking this, segregating the waste, and making some, giving to the recyclers and earning money in this form, and you call them as a rat pickers, where they go around, pick it up. You might see that what kind of gases is been released in this complete ecosystem. You and me know about everything, but we don't want to do anything. You and me want to see a greener world, but it's only in books, only on your laptops, and only in your mind. But nothing is happening in practicality. So that is where we need to address. That is where we need to see. It is not too far that today we have been already a very big disaster is been hit, not to India but to the world, that is COVID, and no one was able to handle that situation. So where are we heading today? Are we heading towards second COVID, that people will die because of the gases which has been released by the waste that is being generated around us? And I think that is not too far if we don't address it today. That is where I have entered into this, seeing the problem of that particular, particular system that is not being addressed, not from today but from when we were kids, when we were seeing that the same vehicle which used to come to your house and collect all the garbage, today is also the same system. It's only that the person have changed, but the system has not changed. As one of our colleague before, she said that technology has to come. How to implement that technology, how you can get into technology and make that comfortable to each and everyone, because each and every person who are, yeah, can just go back on the same slide, I think. Yeah, yeah, next slide, next slide. So you see Jakarta. So this is Mumbai. If anyone know about how much of waste is being generated in Mumbai per day and where it is dumped. So I'll just give you a small value. It is 7,000 metric tons of waste is being generated only in Mumbai, and that is being dumped every single day. So now you can address that 7,000 into 30 days, 30 days into 365 days. What is the volume of waste generated, and where we need to address that waste, and where we need to, how we can, implement something that the people should understand, that today it's not we, or it is not the government that need to be taken care of, but we as a human need to also understand that how we can stop that to be going to a landfill. So that is where goodie bag, and that is where my own algorithm what we have made with the technology, with the help of, you know seeing the problem of that statement, seeing that okay, today what is the problem of a human being, why he or she or a kid or a person is not able to make this happen. So that is where I'll come in the coming time, but I'll just run through more slides, more values. Can you just go with this next second slide? Next slide. This is Mumbai. Next slide. This is Hyderabad. I think many of you can address this, seeing this, how Hyderabad looks with the waste, which you can see the backdrop of the waste, and after that you can see where are we heading towards. So today where I live in Hyderabad, the home where I stay, Just adjacent to that boundary, we have a very big, huge man-made mountain, what I call. Why I call that? Because that is a mountain made by humans by throwing all the garbage. So to tomorrow's world, no need to have a rock mountain. Rather than we'll be having the mountains of the waste that is being generated by the human. So I call them as a man-made mountain. Before we used to call man-made lakes. Now I think in coming time we'll be calling man-made mountains also. So this is what is happening, and why this is happening, because as an human, as an individual, as me staying with my family of 4 or 5 or 6 people in the house, I'm not able to go and drop my own single the amount of plastic what I generate at home, where that is the biggest problem. If we have one milk packet, if we have one toothbrush, if we have one shampoo bottle, if you have groceries what you bring from the supermarket, what do you do with that now? If you want to dispose it, where you need to dispose it, that is the biggest challenge. That is where we don't have that facility. Okay, you have facility in Europe, you have facilities in different part of the countries where you have different dustbins, you have different process system. If you're not doing it, you will be, they'll be giving you challans, or you need to pay the extra amount if you're not segregating. All those are been implemented by the government, but not in India, because the volume of the population what India have, there is a less possibility to impose any penalties, impose anything which to the larger population. So that is where we need to understand, that is where we need to see how can we address that. Because one thing I have understood, a drop of water fills your water bottle. So if I say that today we have at least 500 participants who are there in our video and who are listening to us today, I think 500 people who are here today generates, if I give one water bottle to each of them, that is one water bottle for them. But when we collectively take that and put it at one place, it is 500 water bottles. So that is where the complete process system is working. So one water bottle is nothing to anyone, but 500 water bottles can be recycled. So that is where I have addresses that problem. Next slide, please. So this is the kgs that every day we are generating as an individual. I'm not talking about individual, it's collaboratively what every day we are generating this amount of waste. Only dry waste I'm talking about. It is nothing to do with wet waste, nothing to do with any other waste. It is only a household, single individual combinedly are generating this amount of waste. Next. In a day, this is in a week that we are generating X amount of garbage in a week. Next. This is where we are generating in a month, as in humans are generating this amount of waste in a month. Next, please. This in a year. I think many of them not might read. I think calculator will also fail that this is the amount of waste that we are generating every year. And why is that? Because today you can see how rapidly the marketplaces have grown in India, not in India, but in the world. I may say Amazon, Flipkart, Blinkit, your Big Basket, any marketplace you take Mantra, you take any marketplaces which are there on your phones, what they do, they simply have the waste they are sending to their houses, to your houses. And what are you doing with that? You know what is the amount of parcels that has been delivered by any of these marketplaces within the city, with any metro city, with any tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that is where the problem is, because before I'll say 2005 or 2000s, in 90s and before 2005, where were the market? There were no marketplaces. So at that time also we were having, you know, the generated by the plastics and all, but after that the graph has increased by like 1000%. Of the graph has increased very huge rapidly in this 20 years. I think that is the problem is. I can give you a small example of COVID. You can address, before COVID started, government has given, you know, made one thing compulsory, that if one person has got COVID, you would have taken that person and put it in one, you know, room, and from there the COVID would not have spread what we have we known. But after that, when it has been spread to each and every one, and that was uncontrollable, government was not able to know from which person it has been affected, and that where the people were affecting. So that is the same problem with this. So we don't know the waste which is been collected, or the waste which is been generated, and the man-made mountain, whose waste is that, from where the waste has come. We don't know anything, because there is no accountability for that. If I am today buying a Flipkart or Amazon or you know, any other marketplaces, what I am bringing at my home, I don't have an accountability of waste what I am generating at my home, because every day I take that and I throw it in my dustbin. So that is where the problem is. So if we don't have that accountability, if we don't have that kind of an ecosystem or algorithm, I think that problem, we can't solve it. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is what we are generating in the lifetime of, yeah, next slide, please. So everyone will think that my home is clean. Why do I, you know, clean my surroundings? No. If you think that my home is clean, no, it is not your home. Okay. Next slide, please. But is your air clean? What the air you are breathing? I can give you an example. Many people are from different states who have joined us today. If you think that recently the Delhi pollution, which you have already, every individual have noticed that Delhi was so much polluted that they have given all the schools, colleges holidays. Because of what? Because of the air pollution. So if you think that you are breathing very good air, I think we are not breathing any good air. We are not able to see from our naked eyes, but the air quality has dropped very down. You might agree or you need not to agree, but that is the fact. Next. If we think that our water, what we are drinking, is good, or what you buy a water bottle from any restaurant or any shop, a Bisleri water bottle or a Kenley water bottle, if you are thinking that that water is also good for health, I think that is also not, because you don't know when the water bottle is packed. If you know the water bottle is packed, okay, then where it is going? It is going to a warehouse. Yeah, it is again reflected to the sunlight. Again, that water bottle is coming to going into the fridge, again you are drinking that. So you see the temperatures where the water is being taken for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 temperatures. And now when you talk about the groundwater of the earth, I think that is also a big concern about, because today the lakes are being polluted, the oceans are polluted, the other ocean water bodies are being polluted. I think many of you have not even seen that what are the fresh lakes in India, or what are the small ponds before. When we were kids, when we used to go to see, I stay in Hyderabad, so we used to go to see Gandipet or Himayat Sagar. I think that is also now completely polluted. All the drainage system beside that lakes have been polluted because of the pollution, because there is no proper drainage system. And we talk about that because tomorrow whatever you're throwing, might be it is a one plastic bottle, might be it is a one plastic cover, so you don't know where it is going. You and me don't know, but end of the day, there is no other place than land. No one can take that to any other planet and throw it, but it is our own home, which I call earth. The home what you are staying, it is there for only for a time in, but when you see overall picture, it is the total land that we are spoiling it. Next. Nowadays a very big buzzword is also being in the market, that organic food. Do you think that the food what we are eating today is good for health? Because everything what you are eating today is a junk food. Or when you talk about that, because when the land is get polluted with all the chemicals, because that is where what we are eating today. When you see vegetables, or when you see any other products, you see everything is being, but there is no protein or there is no other vitamins in the vegetables today. They are all hybrid thing. Only the thing is that, okay, you have a mindset that this is a good thing, that it has come from organic farming or something like that. So as a mindset, we have prepared our mind to tell extent, but reality is that today also we don't have a very good food to eat today. Next. The people who are non-vegetarian are really, they have to think about what non-veg they are eating, because every animal, or the animals who are the non-veg, whatever they are eating today are all injected things. So when they eat anything, already whatever they are feeding to that particular animal, everything is feeded which have some or other amount of plastic items or injected items in there. I think we need to think about that as well. Next. A very good slide, that our milk what we drink, is it good to health? Because when we were kids, we were used to say that, our grandparents and mothers used to say that every day we need to have 2 glasses of milk for our proteins. But today when you go out, when you see that the cows who are there beside roads, or you go to any cattle farming or somewhere, the cows and the buffaloes, everyone, they are, you can see that they are hanging over that garbage area and they eat something from that plastic, and the next day the same thing is coming into your house, and you are thinking that the milk what we are eating, the milk what we are drinking is very good to health. I think we need to understand that today many of them, or many of us, have already read in many articles and many newspapers that many cows or buffalo, when they die and when they do the post-mortem, or when they start seeing that why, what was the problem that the cow or a buffalo d- die, it is because of the plastic what they have eaten. And when they remove that, it is kilos of plastic that they are removing from the stomach. And that is being proven, and that is, everyone has seen that, but no one is able to address how we can stop that, how we can really make a difference in the society and come out with the solution, how we can stop all this as an human. Next. So what we need to do now, this is a problem. This is the problem of each and every individual. Now what we have to do as an individual, where I have seen that, okay, from where we need to start. So we have to change what that comes into our mind now. Okay, Abhishek is giving a very good lecture. Yes, Abhishek, now you can say that you have given the problem, you have shown the problem, that this is the problem. Now what we have to do, we have to change. Slide please, next slide please. Not the world. I'll not say that everyone today have a slogan that we need greener world, let's change the world. I don't want anyone to change the world, because you and me are no one to change anything. We are a small creature in this world. Only we need to change one thing. Next please. I'll not say that you have to change the country. Next slide. Not the city. Next slide. Not the neighborhood. Don't even think about you need to change the world or a country or your neighborhood. There is nothing to change where you and me don't have anything. You don't know that who is your neighbor yet. And we talk about that we need to change many things. But in my books, don't change the world, don't change the country, and don't change your neighborhood. Next slide, please. Not your building too. When I talk about neighborhood, I'm talking about the building also. Next. Not your home. So many people think that what we need to change, what is that, the curiosity of how this will happen. Next slide please. We have to change. Next slide please. Just a bag. And that is only one thing that can change our complete process system in this universe, is only a bag. That bag, which where you can dispose it in the right way, in the right form. Next slide please. Everyone knows it is nothing what I'm talking today. I think many of you will agree that whatever I said today or whatever I'm saying now is nothing that I have made something very big scientific formula I've given you, or I've given you a rocket science algorithm to solve anything. Nothing. I am only giving you a very simple solution. I can also say you that what did a Zomato or a Swiggy or a Amazon people have done? They have not solved, or they have not made any algorithm which any scientist were making, or any other very big intelligent person were making. It was a very I can say very simple problem which were in humans daily activity. What did Swiggy did? What did a Zomato do? It's only he was only an aggregator between a customer and to a restaurant, where you and me need not to go anywhere, sitting at your home. They were giving us services. People made to people made it look like that what a big achievement they have done. Yes, they have done an achievement where they were solving something where people were very much getting problem to go somewhere, or someone want to eat something. So they were creating that kind of a buzz. What did Uber do? He just shifted a person where he used to go to the market to take a taxi. He bought the taxi at the doorstep. That is what they have done. The next slide, please. So some waste is biodegradable. Next slide, please. And some waste is not. Simply we need, wet is good and dry is bad. Why wet is good? In olden times, whenever you have excess food or excess wet waste at your home, we used to throw it in near the plants, so that whatever you have, the proteins or something like that, or that compost into something, and that gives the nutrition to the plant. So that is where the wet waste is not, doesn't harm to the nature. It gives the energy to the nature, where whatever you are throwing, because that comes out from the land, and again back you are giving to the land, you are giving to the nature. So I think that is where wet waste is good. And the other part, when we are talking about the dry, which is a very much bad to the nature, what we are talking about today. Next slide, please. All we have to do is the split thing, what we are just talking about. I think every other government is talking the same thing, every other individual is talking about the same thing, every other person is talking about to segregate. So why are we not doing that? That is the biggest question mark. I think that is where I'll come out with the solution, why we need to do that and how we need to do that. Next slide, please. Splitting whatever the value what I have given before, splitting this much of kilogram, if you put it at one place, it is tough to split this. If you are, if you have made a man-made mountain, and if I say that please go and segregate that, no one can do that. Not even God can come, or not even anyone can come and do that. That is where you can see the Delhi pollute, you can see the Delhi landfills or Mumbai landfills. So whenever you go, no one are able to split that, no one is able to segregate that, because it is full of smell that is, you can't even stand over there. Next slide, please. Splitting before that is easy. If I come to your home and collect your plastic or collect your dry waste, is easy, rather than you throw it in a dustbin and then throw it in the landfill. From there, collecting and splitting is difficult. Rather than I come to your home and take it directly, it is easy. Next slide, please. Switch to two bags, what we say to each and every one, where we talk about that when we address wherever we go. Next slide, please. So the wet bag goes to the municipality, that already the municipalities, wherever you go, they come and take, and everything happens there. And the next slide, please. Give the dry bag to us, where we means it is goodie bag, where we have made a brand, where we are talking about what we are today, why we have started this, what the problem we have addressed to. So that is where we see that we have been successful in this from past 3 years, where we have collected, I may say that we have collected around 50 lakh kgs of plastic with the households today. And we are very much far about, not far, or I'll not say not too far, that tomorrow we'll be achieving much more numbers, because every individual house in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities are generating 400 grams of plastic every day. Now you can calculate what is the amount of garbage is being generated every day in India. Next slide, please. So we will turn into a goodie bag where we say that whenever you are giving us the waste, we turn it into a bag which is full of gifts. What we in return give it to a customer, or we can say that to the person who is contributing their energies, who is contributing their small effort to collect that and keep it at one place. Next slide, please. This is one presentation what I want to share you, which is a small presentation of one slides where we were just showing you. Just can you just come with the second PPT from the first slide. This yeah. So this is what a small introduction about how are we transforming the plastic into sustainable solutions. This is the overall picture that we are just showing to each and every one when we have started this and how we have started this. What was the reason of starting this is that how we can tackle the plastic with individual houses. That was our main motto and that was our main mission, and to address with each and every family. So contributing that, seeing that as an biggest problem of this universe, we have entered into this and started thinking of how we can make a technology a part of this and solve this problem, because without technology we can't solve this problem. From past 50 years the same ecosystem was running in the society, so we want to change that process system and how we can change a behavior change with each and every individual, how we can change their habits with the process system. That was the biggest challenge, and you can just see that the today in the metro cities or metropolitan cities like Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon and Flipkart, how much of waste they are generating, what I have said it before. Next slide, please. So who we are and what is our mission, vision and goals that we want to take this forward. So we don't say that we are a company which only take care of waste management, but we also see in a different viewpoint of taking this to a different level, because we as an person, or I say that I as a person see that the future generations, many of them are married, or the people who are not married also, how do you address your children in future? Where are you living them? Are you living a good ambience to stay them in the universe, or surrounded by a good greener world where they can breathe a good air, have good food to eat, or have good water to drink? These are the three main things, or these are the three things where a human need it, because with this there is no life. We know that today when we have launched the rockets to the moon, what are we finding there? We are finding, is there water to live? Is there air where the humans can breathe? The food you can go and grow it, but these two things are more important. And today that is where the biggest challenge in, that is where we are taking that and addressing that. Let us stop not polluting these two things at least. So that is our goal and mission. where we are looking for. Next slide, please. So now you can see this calculation data analytics, what we have done, the plastic waste crisis. So the companies who are generating the dry waste, when people who are seeing this, you can see that what is the amount of plastic that Swiggy generates per order. So whenever you order something in Swiggy, it is 82 grams of plastic, the container box. So on an average, we have taken this. Might some person is ordering only one item, but many are ordering 4 5 items also. So comparatively, we have taken an algorithm where they are generating 82 grams of plastic, what they are generating with each and every parcel. Zomato, it's 73 grams. It is included with your cardboards also, or you can say paper covers, what they are already using it. And when you come to Flipkart, because you have many other different products, Zomato, Swiggy are all your food products, but when you come to the Flipkart, it is when you order one dress or when you order one phone or something, then that is 135 grams of cardboard plastic what they are generating every day with one parcel. And when it comes to Amazon, it is much more higher there, because there are many home need items or there are many big parcels which are coming. These are only 4 companies what I'm just saying you, which everyone can resonate or everyone can recollect in their mind that what I'm just saying is directly with the content what we are talking today. So whenever you are ordering today a Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart, you don't believe that these are only small calculations what I'm giving, but when you count in numbers, when you count in delivery products, there are huge. How will you stop that? How can you address that? How can you manage that logistic change? When logistic change in the sense the reversible logistic I'm talking about. A product is manufactured in a factory, then it is coming to a warehouse. From there, one person is coming, picking that product, bringing to your house. Till there, you have a proper logistic management. You have proper logistic everything, where you have the data, where you know that from where you need to pick, from where you need to take, and where you need to drop. But you don't have the reverse mechanism, and that is where we are want to create that logistics. That is where we are expertise into that. When somebody is able to drop at your home, why not we take it from your home back and give it to the recyclers? That is where we have built a technology, where that is where, if many people don't understand how the reverse mechanism happens, because when is there, if there is a way to reach home, so they need to it there should be a reverse gear also to go back to the home, go back from where you have come. So when you have a car, you know how speed you can drive by giving 1 2 3 4 5 gears. You have a reverse gear also where you can go back if you want to go back. I know that many people will say that when you go reverse, you go very slow. Yes, today we are very slow, but we are adding more gears to that to go more speed. As we go front, we also need to go back. So that is where we want to create, that is where we want to start our process system. So you can just see in this total order place per day. In 22, it is 80. It's only the figures of Hyderabad, what I'm talking about, where what we have taken from the data, what we have captured is 80,000 parcels a day is being delivered by Swiggy only in Hyderabad. I'm talking about per day, and it is Zomato when you see it is a Flipkart when you see Amazon, and 23 it is 88,000. So the numbers are increasing every year. You might see this. So when we talk about what is the amount of total carbon footprints generated when all this is happening, when you are not thinking, because you and me are only seeing in a very, you know, I may say that in a very smaller way, in a very small particle way, that we are only thinking that we have, what happened, I have bought only one parcel, what will happen if I only do that. That is the problem. That is where we need to understand. So you can just see the last line, that the total dry waste per kg in 25 to 30, what we have calculated with only Swiggy, Zomato, and Flipkart, Amazon, it is 30 million kgs by 2030 it will generate. By 20, it is 26 million, 73 million kgs, 65.6 million kgs that will be generating till 2030. And when we talk about that, it is a practicality, because every day, every other person, I think I have not added Blinkit, I have not added Big Basket, I have not added many other services who parcel every other single minute or single second, I may say, that is been delivered at different places of the world. So we need to understand that. We need to see that where are we heading? Are we doing something disaster which you and me are not able to see the future? I think that future we want to show to the people, show to each and every one who are sitting over here today and talk. It's not only talking about, or today what I am talking, I am doing it because I am talking it today. I really I'm really very much scared about what will happen in the future, but something big will happen. I don't know when it will happen, but it will happen. I think seeing this calculations or seeing this numbers, where it is only a small, data what I'm showing you, but the data is very big. The amount of values are very big. Next slide, please. So how are we solving this? How to get address, or how to get the solution of this? Is your The first problem was how to collect the waste from the house. That was the biggest problem. So for that we have built what? We have built an app. Why we have built an app? It's because in today's world, 5 years child, I'm not talking 5 years, I'm just taking, I'll say that from 2 to 3 years a kid until 70 years of a gentleman are on phones today, and they need what? They need service. They need everything on the doorstep. So that is where we have addressed, okay, you be at your home, when you are there at your home and when you are taking that services, let us create something where we are also coming back to your house and collecting something. So that is where we have built an app technology, where we are talking about how, and now after building that app, how we need to monitor that, how we can address, how we can add technology, how we can add AI, where today's buzzword, or each and every kid or each and every company is talking about artificial intelligence. That is where we bought. technology is good till some extent, but technology, how you use that depends upon person to person. So that is where we have made it so simple. Now what? Why people are not segregating it? Why people? What is the biggest problem? It's that why should I do what gets benefited to me, that I'll get something out of that. So that is where we have given the reward points directly to the consumers, directly to the customers. If tomorrow I say, give your waste and I'll give you reward points, what will happen with that reward points? Now what? So there we have bought the home need items like all your groceries, all your eco-friendly products. Tomorrow down the line, we'll be having many other products or many other solutions where we'll be saying them, okay, you are generating something where you have now accountability that whatever you are bringing at home, you are disposing in the right way, in the right form. You'll also come to know that what is the amount of plastic or a cardboard or a metal that is there at your home, how much of us or how much you and me are producing every day. So you have that accountability of input and output. So that is where we have taken that into consideration, and we have given that the approach directly to the consumers. In that system, the people will come to know the efficiency of segregation and the right way of waste management or sustainability. What you're talking about, you're talking about logistics, you're talking about supply chain. The same things apply in this, in a reversible model system where you have people doing in a different way, the same way we have applied in our process system. Next slide, please. So you can just see then when we have started the process in 2022, people were talking about many things. People were talking about how is it possible you're not able to achieve what you're talking about because there are people who don't care about. But I'm very much proud to say that today where we are standing, might be we are little slow, but this all numbers are saying something. It's a small initiative what we have started. I have started with my own home and in 2022 with my own house, which I was only one person. Today we have around, 15,000 household. What the numbers are bit before October's numbers, but today we have around 30,000 household who are associated with this. I'm not talking about Hyderabad. So when that 30,000 households are ready to take this initiative or accept what they are doing it, so it is only that people are unaware of that. People are, people don't know what exactly kind of plastic that is there in their home, because there are different kind of plastics, there are different kind of material that is there in your house. Might be your harpic bottles, it is made up of it, the material is of HD, what we call about, or when you eat chips packet, when you eat chocolate wrappers, these all are different materials that is can recycle in different forms. So today we are very much happy to say that we have collected many tons of plastic and we have recycled. It is possible if each and every individual understands that what is his responsibility, how they can manage their own dry waste or manage their waste. I think many of us don't know how the carbon credits are being given, how what is carbon footprints. Many people today are into doing something good. Many schools are coming out and saying that we want to plant a tree, we want to go for a lake cleanup drives, we want to go somewhere to you know feed the to give something food to any needy or to any NGOs. Okay, you are doing for one day, then what happens for the next day? We are not doing anything for the next day. It is only for that day when we are just going, initiating that and coming back. So today, as a very proudly, I can say that we have saved around 5,100 trees, not directly, but indirectly by recycling the material. And the amount of carbon footprints, CO2, what we have decreased from the atmosphere by the gases that will be produced have been produced in the landfills, that what we have stopped in this couple of the journey of this 3 years. So I'm just very much passionate about, or you might say that the algorithm what we are talking about, or the knowledge whatever I had or whatever I'm speaking, I'll be saying one thing. I'm not something, having big degrees in my career, or something where I have stand somewhere or given a lecture to someone, but as in a layman language, I've seen something that has to be addressed very soon, or to the future coming generation. That is only what I'm just trying to explain, and trying to give you the practicality, not only in the books, but many things in life we will come to know when we really are on the ground and really see and feel that problem. I think that is where the big companies are being made, or that is where the big people are very much well educated about that. Books are 40%, I may say, but 60% you need to be very practical when you are on the grounds and when you see that it is happening. And that is where I want to address everyone to sit down, think whatever you are talking or whatever you are saying or whatever you want to do it in the coming time. In the supply chain, what you're talking about, the supply chain in the logistic, what, and many people also have a concern, how are you managing your logistic? That is where the USP lies into, because in our company we don't use any petrol vehicles. We have all our logistics, all our vehicles with EV. We have all our electric vehicles that we are using it, because that makes more efficient in the logistic. And as I said you before, that I have run a company for 12 years of logistics, so I was having that plenty of knowledge of that 12 years that I have applied in this. And we know that every 1 kilometer or every 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, what we need to do, how we can manage that kilometers in reverse mechanism, how long the vehicle can go and come back, and how we can calculate each and every point with that kilometer. So that is where I'll be surprisingly saying you that if we were using a petrol vehicle which cost us per kilogram, I can no per kg, might be it was 7 to 8 rupees where we were getting an expense if we have gone with the petrol vehicles. But today when we are using an electric vehicle, it is not more than 2.5 rupees per kg what we are getting. see the difference of the reverse mechanism of logistic where we are using electric vehicle. So that is all how we can manage all those things, practicality coming on ground and taking that decisions. Next slide, please. So what is the market size if I talk about in India? So as per our you know data analytics, it is 32.09 billion USD by in 2023 and expected to reach 35.87 billion by 2028. That is the market size. I'm talking about the amount of the money is involved in this, because till now everyone thinks that this is waste. You don't have money in this. You have plenty of money in this. You can earn money, but how to earn that, how to get into that field, because many people don't want to enter into that in this field and make their hands dirty. So as per my knowledge, as per my journey of this 3 years, there are people have to understand this industry have lot of potential, lot of vision, and in coming time, I think this waste management industry will be the world's biggest industry in coming times. So when you talk about the global market, that was the Indian market, what I have said. But when you talk about the global market, I think it is in billions of rupees, this 1612 billion US dollar in 2020, and by 2030 it will reach to 24,083 billion US dollar. I think people will not also can't think about that much long or that much, that what is the valuation that you are imagining, because this is only on a small data analytics what we have done. But as the generation is growing and the marketplaces are going, I think there are much more to come, much more numbers will change in coming time, where we are seeing India in the second position in our GDP, where fastest growing, one of the fastest growing country in the world. So I think that is where everyone are reaching to, but these numbers will change very dramatically and the graph will go very high. Next. So these are the some clients that we are, we are associated with many, societies, and the biggest achievement what we have done is that we are also associated with Indian Army. So when I talk about Indian Army, it is not a buzzword that I'm talking about, but why I'm saying that is they do understand, because one the because army thinks what happens after 20 years, so they start preparing today. So when you talk about nuclear bomb, when you talk about any other resources they want to bring into, they think about 15-20 years ahead, and today they start taking action. So they, when I went there, when I had a conversation with them, when I explained about what I am doing and how I am taking this to the society and what will happen after 10 years if we start today, that is where they think. And that day I have realized that yes, the way they think, no one else are thinking in that way, and people who are there into this ecosystem, it is not more than 1% people think about that, but 95 to 97% people are yet don't know what to do, how to do, and where to start. So that is where we bring everything at one plate and say that this is what we are making this as a huge, or you can say that we are making this as a movement, not in India, but throughout the world. We want to take this. There are many schools, foundations, societies that are being associated with us, and many of them are now also accepting what we are doing it. Next slide, please. So these are the some stories that has been covered in publications and many other media houses, what we are doing, how we are doing, and how are we changing the societies and all. I think we are proud to say that many of them have reached organically and talking about what we were doing. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is how the future strategies that we are been thinking of: partnerships, innovation, community engagement, how we need to do expansion and all. These are some our inputs and all. If somebody want to know a lot more about what we are doing it, so you can mail us, you can talk to us anytime, and whatever the information you need. Apart from this, I have many other more information that can be given, or that can be have a theory part on that. Next. So these are all some team members who are working with me, and they are very much good people who are already associated with us and started a journey with me. This is all what I want to say, and I think I am bit early that I have already completed my 2 PPTs, but I don't want to take much of your time. I know that I have already said that I'm not that much good in all your PPTs making on 60, 70 slides, where get more already you're sitting from past 2, 3 hours, what I have seen. So I don't want to take much of your time. And this is all the insights and how we have taken this further. Whenever you want, you can just give me a WhatsApp message. You can you just come to the next slide.
Abhishek sir, so thank you very much for your presentation. Very practical, insightful. There are a few comments by Mr. Rahman. Are you able to see the
Okay.
comments?
No, I think they need to just minimize
Uh,
this. Minimize this.
yeah,
Yeah,
can
once.
you please
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
the
yeah. I've
presentation
done. I've
now?
done. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, yeah,
You are able to see the screen now? The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
comments.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, please, comment if you have anything to say on that.
There are many comments which in
Mr.
GCC,
Rahman,
European
Associate
country,
Rahman.
plastic waste is an opportunity, but government policies matter. Yeah. So in GCC, what European countries, plastic waste is an opportunity, but government policy matter. See, many people ask me that question, that the product what we are purchasing by any of the marketplaces like Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart, wherever you are purchasing, that belongs to you, that belongs to me. That doesn't belong to the government. Till when you don't throw it in the government boundary, or you're not giving to a GHMC, that then it becomes their it becomes their product. But when it is with you at your home, so you can give it to anyone. When you sell your newspaper to a Raddiwala, or you when sell a newspaper to any Kabadiwala or any other material, that is yours. government can't come to your place and talk about that. So you can give it to anyone. So that is your property, that is not the government property. So policies matters where it when it is into the landfills. The policies doesn't matter at your home. Policies are made there. So I think that is where I've given the answer to him. So, are
one
you
more question.
using AI data-driven decisions in your business or waste collection? Yes, we are also using an AI technology where we give the complete data to the consumer. How you get a data on a Swiggy, Zomato, where you know that from which restaurant you bought it, what is the amount you have spent, might be your older food what you have purchased. So that is all what we have given an algorithm with the help of AI driven technology, where we give everything to you to show you what is the amount of waste that is being generated at your home, monthly, quarterly, or annually. Whatever you want, you have is that. Any other? In India, we can't see any company doing waste management as virtual business. There are many other companies who are also doing it, but the strategy what we are bringing into is the mindset that we want to change it. I'll give you a small example of Indigo or a Vistara flight. If you have an opportunity to fly in two of them, which flight you will choose? Many people choose Vistara. Might be the fare, the tariff of both flights are same. I think the Vistara flight is traveling half an hour late before the Indigo flight. But many people fly with Vistara because they get a free meal on that. That is a human tendency. That okay, I'll get a free meal. We'll go in Vistara. There is no other. The same time takes by Indigo, the same time is taken by Vistara. So it is that human tendency is that something I'm getting for free. You might spend crores of rupees somewhere else, but when it is coming to the free part, when somebody says that you're getting 20%, 50%, or 100% discount, some discount on some product, I think if you don't need that also, people buy that. Here we'll keep it and we'll keep it at home. Now we don't know when it will be useful, but we'll keep it that because you're getting for free, you're getting some discount. So that is where we bought it in our process system, that okay, you give some, you are giving the waste what you have at your home which is not useful to you. In return we are giving you some reward points or cash reward points, and that is real, that people are thinking on that, people are reverting on that, people are, I have an I have people who are 80% people are coming back on my platform. It is only 20% people who are just not that much uh, process system, but 80% of consumer are again and again they are associated with us, giving that all whatever we are you know into the algorithm what we have made. Out of your total revenue, how much percentage goes into waste collection? Yeah, so many of them have that questions also, out of total revenue. So when you talk about the revenue, it is 40% that is being spent on all the process system what we have built, and the profit what I talk about, it is 60% of profit that we are generating. It might be in any process system, but the percentage wise goes 60-40. 40% is your logistic, going, picking up. We have, because I was into logistic and I know where to bifurcate the, we have divided Hyderabad into 25 zones. So when we bifurcate that, we have the algorithm of where to send, when to send, what time it will go, and what time it will come. So that is where the expertise comes into. we see
Pramod sir, can I
Saudi.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Sir, Abhishek
Yeah,
sir,
like
as you are told that many businesses are into plastic recycling or dry waste recycling,
Yeah.
and there are also few the startups which are into wet waste recycling. So,
Yeah.
can there be a aggregator platform like Swiggy or Zomato where we have restaurants, all restaurants together, whether it is veg and non-veg? Is it possible for any startup or an AI tool or something where we can aggregate both the recyclers, that is the wet recyclers and the dry waste recyclers, and have an algorithm in total so that the waste may
See,
not go to the landfills at last?
see, the first thing you need to understand is that if the wet waste we don't pick it up every day, then it starts smelling out. And when it is coming to a dry waste, if you keep for 100 days also, the smell don't come out, because there is nothing to worried about. When you keep it in open area also, apart from some animal coming and throwing here and there, that might happen, but the smell doesn't come out. So both things simultaneously, it will not happen. The second part is that what is the amount of wet waste you generate at your home. If today you are sitting at your home, and from tomorrow what do you do when you go into the kitchen tomorrow in the morning, when you're having your breakfast, apart from what you make excess, I'm not talking about that. If you go for making a chapati, is there any wet waste you are generating? No. If you are boiling a milk, no. If you are making any rice, there is no wet waste. Only the wet waste is there in your all wherever you cut your vegetables. So when you cut the peel of your tomato up and down, if you are four people in your house, so how many tomatoes you cut in a day, how many cauliflower you cut in a day. So it is not more than 30 to 40 grams, I'm talking, not even 30 to 40 grams. So there is not called wet waste. Tomorrow you start collecting at your home, there will be no wet waste at your home apart from 50 grams or 100 grams a day. If you are four at your house, it will be 50 to 60 grams. That you can put it in your, you have, a plant in your house, a पौधा बोलूंगा मैं, या मैं उसको आपको एक गमला बोलूंगा. You can slowly dig that and put that, and you can, third day you can see that there is nothing in that mud. So that is where you can start your process system. It is that how efficiently you do that and how continuously you do that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
sir, one more
I think I've given you the answer. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the last question of the day, Mr. Shoman Mukherjee, can you please respond, sir, quickly?
Yeah, sir, what is about the medical? See, medical waste we don't take because there are many other compliances that need to be handled by the medical waste. I can't go to any medical colleges or medical hospitals I can collect, and because there are many other syringe or many other such kind of items that need to be disposed and burn it. So we are not into that portfolio, and we don't take care of any medical waste. We are only purely an aggregator like a Swiggy, Zomato. We don't recycle also. We have our own warehouse where we collect everything from different societies, different individuals. We bring that, we put it in our warehouse. We have a team of 30 to 40 people who segregates that, and every recyclers in India want a particular item, a particular kind of plastic. So there are HD, PP, LD, or multi-layer plastic. There are different plastics. So one industry needs one plastic. So we collect that, make a bunch of that, 1 ton, 2 tons, 5 ton, 10 tons, and we give it to the recyclers. So that is how we work. So this is the reverse mechanism what we have built.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your nice presentation, practical experience sharing, and hopefully this is need of the day, and everybody do something in their own lives and trying to, as you said, the change has to happen from the home itself. So I think
Home
very
itself.
nice case, and it's a very nice case for the supply chain management as well. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are working in this area, especially in the circular economy. So thank you very much for
I'll
your.
just give you a last input that we are the one in the world to make the half circle complete. So how is it? So a material which is made, the plastic is made by a petroleum product, and it is coming after making a plastic. Then it is coming in a form of granules. Then it is coming to a industry. From there it is coming to a warehouse. From there it is coming, the packing is happening, and then it is going to your supermarkets and all. After then, supermarket is giving you a bill. So till your home they have a data in the sense the process 1 2 3 4 5 till your house. But after that, where it is going, we don't know that. So that is where we come into. So we come to your house, we collect that plastic, we take to our warehouse, we segregate that, and again we give it to the recycle. Now the half moon is being completed. So the complete moon, from where it has come and where it went. So the complete moon, what we want to complete that full moon. So in that process system we are heading towards, and hopefully we have made some good decisions that we have to make this not alone, but combinedly with all your efforts or giving your all support. And I think in coming time we'll also see that we'll be in different parts of India and different parts of India and countries also.
So thank you very much, sir. I just expect if there is in this area need your support. So I hope they will get some support from you, and also
Yes,
in
yes.
indirectly they can also support you, in your kind of logistics and its efficiency. So thank you very much, sir, once again.
Thank you. Thank you
On
very
behalf of the
much.
school, on behalf of the school, and on behalf of the participants, on behalf of University of Hyderabad, I'd like to thank you very much for the insightful session, and looking forward
Yeah.
to the same in the coming days. So
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
So thank
Thank
you
you.
all the participants for being here. As we are exiting 10 o'clock, so we need to wind up now. So thank you very much, sir. Looking forward to see you again in the next session tomorrow at around 7 o'clock. Thank you very much. Thank you, Abhishek, sir. Thank you very much. So, Alekya, I think we need to stop here. So, end the stream. Thank you very much, everyone. See you tomorrow.